Good morning and welcome to Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition on 92.9 KVRE, also online at kvre.com and on iHeartRadio. He's Tracy Simpson. I'm Mark Oliver. Big show for you today. Of course, Tracy, looking at my calendar right now, we are 6 days, literally 6 days away from the start of high school football season and the start of our 16th season calling the Fountain Lake Cobras on the radio. Boy, you blinked, you missed it. Summer is officially coming to an end.
Mark, I'll tell you what, the way you're sounding right now, we're already in mid form right now. I'm a little worried about you, but I know you'll shape up. You're always in good form when it comes to yelling touchdown Cobras. So I'm pumped up, brother. I am pumped up.
Look, yeah, I know. It's one of those things as a sports guy, as a radio guy. Yeah, the voice is not there this week. I don't know why. I'm not sick. The doctor just said you have just random bronchitis. But, I always look at the positive side of everything, Tracy. I'm getting it out of the system now so that I can be in full force for game number 1, Fountain Lake and Cutter Morning Star. But before we talk about the Battle of the Gorge, let's talk about our high school football summer preview series, which continues to start our show. The man in charge of the Fountain Lake Cobras, Matt Richardson, joins us on the show. Last year in the return from 8-man football, the Cobras finished with a 2-8 record, but they showed flashes of offensive firepower, like scoring 72 points in a game against Bauxite, and resilience despite a tough schedule in that grind known as the 7-4A. And with this fall marking the 50th anniversary of Fountain Lake football, there is a lot to be excited for in Cobra Country heading into this season. Coach, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. Excited to be here, excited about a new season, and blessed to be a Cobra.
So, Coach, let's unpack year number 1. You came into this program, you returned from 8-man football, you brought in this new group of playmakers that had so much excitement. I mean, we're talking about potential records down the book. We're talking about like all-time state records down the road. What did you learn about this team last year, and what did you learn about yourself as a coach in your first year leading the Cobras?
Well, number one, I learned that we've got some great kids. They're young. They were, a lot of sophomores started at sometimes 10 sophomores on offense at sometimes, and young kids that weren't scared of anybody, didn't care how much older they were, how much bigger. Defensively, we had 8 kids at one time that were 151 pounds or smaller. I mean, that's an average junior high size team, but they went out and fought every week. And like you said, in the 7-4A, and attacked it and went to work. And so as a coach, you're proud of the kids. And what I learned about this community is they are a blue collar. I mean, I don't care how big I am, how old I am. I'm not scared to go to work and get after it and fight with my team and fight for my team and for my community. I was really proud of them last year, and really excited about what's coming this year.
Coach, we talked about a lot of things last year towards the end of the season. The last time that we talked at the end of the season, you told me that this season began in the weight room, and it began in the weight room a long time ago. What has that progress looked like this offseason with your big board and the goals that you had to come back bigger, faster, and stronger?
Well, that's exactly what it is. If you come into our field house, there is an 8x8 board that they walk in and weigh in every day. And we have kids that have literally put on, 15, 20, 25 pounds. So when I was talking 151 pounds and smaller, well, that's not the case this year. That's a beautiful thing. These kids have done what they were supposed to do and gotten better in the weight room. Last year we started in August. We had 6 kids who could power clean 200 pounds or more. When you power clean, you finish in an athletic position where you can block and tackle. We had 6 kids that could tackle or block a 200-pounder. We have right at 30 out of our 49 kids that can do that this year. So I'm really excited about that. They've gotten stronger. They've gotten bigger. So I'm really excited about that. Like you said, the bigger, faster, stronger stuff. That's what matters. Now we've got to get the technique and do those kind of things and put it all together and go win some ball games. So.
Coach, now obviously this is still a young team. Last year, several sophomores playing, making up the majority of the team, and now you've got some freshmen that are now sophomores, limited on the seniors, but still some guys that have got experience, but not so much now that you're not 8-man. They're the 11-man. How's that playing a factor? Because that's what these kids, so to speak, grew up with, was 11-man. How's that played a factor in that so many of them were starting last year and now are return starters even as juniors?
Oh, a huge factor. I think I've talked to you, personally before, and we've talked about how last year the freshman class that played so much last year as sophomores, they had never been in a varsity football game. Our other two classes had never been in an 11-man varsity football game. We had one kid that had moved in from Hot Springs High that played on the extra point team. So we had one kid that had played in an 11-man football game as of the beginning of the season last year. Well, that's not the excuse now. That's not anything hindering us anymore. We have a whole group that has played 10 ball games, and in the scrimmage last week, we saw that we had some bad things go on, and we saw some experienced veterans step up after a penalty and gain a huge chunk of yards and finish that drive. When lots of times young teams would just, oh man, we had a penalty, it's 3rd and 15, 3rd and 16, and they'd just die out because, oh my goodness, we're behind the chains. We didn't have that happen the other night in the scrimmage, so I was really proud of that, and the veterans. And I say veterans, it's crazy, 49 on the roster and only 6 seniors still. But they are veterans because they have played a whole season, most of them have, and got a lot of experience. So that is helping right now. They've seen a lot of football, and that's going to help a lot come this season.
Coach, you mentioned those scrimmages. You guys have been busy. You've been hard at work getting ready for the season opener, 7-on-7s, team camps, the purple and gold game. What can you tell us about who has really been stepping up and who has really impressed you early before we start the season?
Well, you always got to start with that quarterback. Boy, he's a good player. So Cooper Buss is always somebody that I'm glad he's on my team. I don't have to defend him. I tell you that. He gets rid of the ball so fast. His RPO stuff, and he'll put it in a running back's belly, and then he throws it. He throws the slant or the out route or the stick route or something so fast. My linebackers in practice don't even see it, I don't think. So Cooper Buss, of course, is unbelievable. Then, of course, you have Harwood that I tell people he catches BBs. It's crazy. You could throw him a BB 40 yards down the field, and somehow he'd come back with it. So he catches everything. He's amazing. Case Harris put on, I think, 15 or 16 pounds. He's up to 191 or 192 pounds. He's a big, good-looking athlete right now. Really impressed with him. So, of course, the big three. Everybody knows them. But let's talk about the captain, Devin Williams. Devin Williams is very special. A guy that hadn't missed a practice all summer, all anything, and he is the captain. He's one of the seniors. And Devin's playing running back another night in the scrimmage. I think he had 7 carries for 7 for 43 yards, in the half he played. So 6 yards a carry. That was a great start of the scrimmage. So I was really, you carry the ball 6 yards a carry, you're going to have a chance to win ball games. So he had a good scrimmage the other night. But the things out of the backfield Devin will do, too. He has great hands, so I'm excited. We can go to empty and do things and leave the same personnel. So I'm excited about him. Dalen Morris is a sophomore that we have that's playing our H and our H-back, and he's really had a great spring and a great summer. We're really excited about him. And then, like I've talked about before, I feel like our offensive line is more athletic this year. So we're going to be able to get to the perimeter more and do things. So I'm really excited about those kind of guys with 4 of them being returning starters. And then Elijah Childs, maybe the toughest guy we have, coming back to the offense from the defense. So he brings a little toughness to us. So I'm excited about that. So offensively, a lot of good things right there. I can get into defense if you want me to talk about those guys too. So,
dude. Oh, come on. You know me, I was talking the other night. I was impressed by the play of that defensive end the other night and a few of your linebackers.
Yes. So I'm really excited about our defensive line. We have we've put some athletes up there. I think we have 4 or 5 guys that we say they're motor guys. They're all right at 180 to 210 pounds, and I think they're runners and hitters, and I'm really excited about them. Jaden Irwin is one of the strongest kids on the team. He's playing the 3 technique, and he's probably the fastest kid off the ball we have. He does a really good job. Michael O'Brien's a really tough kid, and he's doing a great job. And then Nate Jordan's maybe our strongest kid, really good in the weight room. He does a great job. And then Landon Gambler and Cole Ralston's playing a defensive end on the other side, and there's 3 or 4 more guys. But I think our defensive line's playing really fast and hard, and I'm really excited about them. So linebackers, you get to the Aiden Alt, which we call him the captain of defense, and he's the one that's the quarterback over there getting everybody aligned. He does a great job and might be the toughest guy we got over there. Caleb Castle. You've got Anderson Davis, Logan Rhodes, that might be the most athletic kid on the team. Asher Netabolic's playing outside linebacker, and Jalen Johnson. And then you go to the corners, and Preston Harness is playing receiver for us, but he's also playing corner. He's the only guy playing both ways right now. And that's isn't that a blessing? 21 guys playing. That's huge. The other corner, at the other corner we have Keaton Canals, and then there's other kids like a Kyler Calicote and a Eli Patman that'll fill in there. And then Keegan Clark had an interception the other night playing safety. So he's doing really good reading the quarterback and playing in the middle. Came down and made some really good tackles. So I'm really proud of him. So defensively, I'm excited. I think the kids are playing hard and they're running to the ball better than they did last year. But they're bigger and stronger and faster. So I think they're more confident to be able to run to the ball and get after somebody. So really excited about that.
Coach, the 2025 season is almost here, a clean slate. It all begins week 0 this next Friday night, the Battle of the Gorge. Cutter Morningstar comes to Cobra Country. What can you tell us about this matchup to start the year?
Well, it's always fun. All the kids know each other. You live so close to each other. I guess 6-7 minutes, and that's what's fun about it. The kids know who they're lined up against, and they've grown up with that kid, playing other sports with him or playing football against him all their life. So that's a fun thing. So I'm really good friends with Coach Finley. Nick's a really great person, a really great guy, and he does a great job with their school. And what's crazy is I grew up there. That was my school, 13 years. But heck, I bleed purple and gold. I promise I do. You know that. I did it bled purple and gold for 14 years before I came here. So that's my colors. I promise. It'd be hard for me to get out of those colors. So, no, it's going to be a fun game. It always is. The atmosphere was amazing last year. Everybody in town on both communities is going to show up and support their team. So I'm ready to get out there and see a different color. And our kids, I believe they're going to play fast and hard. So I'm excited about them.
We are so excited to get back behind the microphone next Friday night, and we're excited to see the Cobras go to work. It's the 50th anniversary of Fountain Lake football. Excitement is in the air. We can't wait to see what the guys do next. Coach Matt Richardson of Fountain Lake Cobras football, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck. We'll be seeing you soon.
Thank you all so much for having me. I appreciate y'all. God bless and go Cobras.
Much more to come on Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition. Don't go anywhere. More football coming your way next on 92.9 KVRE.
Second quarter coming up.
And we're back. Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition, 92.9 KVRE. He's Tracy Simpson, and I'm Mark Oliver. Our high school football summer preview series continues with a look at the Cutter Morningstar Eagles. Coach Nick Finley joins us on the show this week. Coach, good morning. Thanks for making time for us. Last season, a season of highs and lows. That return from 8-man football did provide some challenges. What were some of those challenges that you and the Eagles faced a year ago?
Man, I appreciate you guys having me on. Always love talking football, and to be on a sports show just like y'all and for our area is awesome for our school district, our program, and our athletes. So I appreciate you guys having me on. Last year the transition was tough, especially for our offensive line from 8-man. When you run spread, there's 3 offensive linemen. Well, when you go 11-man, there's 5. So, knowing who to block, how to block, and guys that haven't played, that was definitely one of our things. As we went 1-9, we were in some close games till about the third quarter, and then kind of some early season injuries when your running back goes out in the second week of conference, for season ending, and I had an outside linebacker go down earlier in preseason, and then had just battled injuries with depth and everything else last year. It was definitely tough for our defense. But we still moved the ball. We were able to score. We averaged 28 points a game on offense. Defense, was a tall task of learning how to fit in the right gaps and everything else. But still was able to have some, have a good season for our seniors, and to have some memories going into it. Obviously Peyton Mills was the highlight of our team, and being able to throw to some guys out there. It was tough to run the ball, so we were able to pass the ball with our scheme and everything else. So gave people fits, and I think everybody be a little bit different this year just because I know what we do and how we do it. But last year was definitely a learning curve for our now seniors that were juniors last year. And it's starting to show with our work through the off season and everything else. They know now what to expect. It's not nothing new. It's something that we've been doing now since football ended last year. But just excited for this year for sure.
You mentioned that leadership from last year's senior class. Peyton Mills was a household name for this program, one of the best to ever do it as a quarterback. And of course, now we know that he's going to be playing football on Saturdays coming up this fall. But that leadership that this senior class, the outgoing senior class, left on this program is evident in your 7-on-7s, your team camps, the hard work that you guys have put in this year. Take us behind the scenes at what leadership has looked like on those juniors from last year who are now your senior class this year.
Yeah, so when I got the Cutter, this will be my fourth season. So 3 years ago, the now sophomores were seventh graders and my now seniors were ninth graders. So that was really that first junior high group that I had. In that year we went 6-3. With them, and I had actually some seventh graders start on that 8-man team when we were in junior high. Then the next year, they were able to, that group was able to go undefeated in conference in that last year 8-man, then last year an 11-man. Our junior high program, which is now our sophomores, they were ninth graders. They were 7-1, so they were conference runner-up. And the only game we lost was to the conference champions of Perryville. So, the leadership plays a huge role. Obviously, Peyton Mills led that charge, as a career through where he was, over 7,000 yards of throwing. Obviously, it's a school record. But for our leadership coming into this, last year was a lot of grit. Those juniors had to kind of go through it a little bit. When you go through the trenches and the turmoil of the season, it motivates you for off season. We had a really good off season. Guys got stronger. A lot of our when you're in coaching, you have those groups that are just different. Some of those are spread between two classes, but there's really sometimes that one class that really just sets you apart and really just gets it. And they're easy to coach. They're very coachable. You make an adjustment, they implement it the next play, and that's our sophomore group. Obviously that sophomore group is the most winningest junior high class right now through Cutter Morningstar history. They go 6-3, 7-0, and then 8-1. They lost 4 games in 3 years in junior high. So I'm really excited about this season because year 4 is normally when you start seeing, your offense and your defensive schemes really come in and help you out in ball games because they understand what you're doing instead of it all being new every single year. Those juniors and everything else that are going to be that last year, they're going to be seniors. We return our whole starting line, and that's going to be huge for us. The experience level, we're already starting to see. We actually know who to block now and how to block. So that's kind of one of those things that you're starting to see growth. And I'm really excited for that. Through the off season, weight room, speed development. It's tough at small schools because a lot of those guys, they play multiple sports. When your quarterback goes from being a football player to a basketball player and then to a baseball player, it's hard to get stuff in through football during the off season. But offensive line guys, sometimes they play baseball, sometimes they don't. So we're able to get a lot of offensive line work this off season. But that leadership plays into it. What's going before them. But I'm really excited about this group this year. really taking the next step in our program.
And let's talk more about your offense, Coach. Of course, losing a household name like Mills, everybody wants to know who the next man up is at quarterback and some of the surrounding cast that's going to help drive that offense. Are we still looking at a spread offense this season, or are we going to adjust based on the players that you have in front of you?
I mean, you always got to look at that, as a coach, especially a head coach, and especially, knowing the game and how you got to fit your offense. You got to be able to score points, and you got to be able to move the ball and eat the clock, and all that stuff. But we've been blessed. When my first year here, our new quarterback will be a sophomore. He led. He started at quarterback ever since a seventh grader. He started as a seventh grader playing against ninth graders when we were in junior high and 8-man. So he's a guy. His name's Jacob Smith. He's a sophomore. He's last year in 11-man, he threw for 1,800 yards in junior high. So they have that sophomore class has a lot of guys that are able to go out and get the ball, be able to find ways to get open. But this year, I think, and as good as Mills was, I really feel like Jacob is going to be better than Peyton Mills. But that's to be seen. He has the tools, to be able to do it a little bit quicker than what Peyton did. But at the same time, that takes nothing away from Peyton. That's just an opinion. But at the same time, he's still got to be able to make plays and read his plays and be able to check down coverages, be able to run the offense and be a leader, to be able to fill those shoes of Peyton. And I think he's going to be doing I think he's going to do a great job. But he can't do that without everybody else. We have more weapons at wide receiver and depth than we've ever had. So I'm really excited about the depth we bring. We don't miss a beat. We've really stressed in our offensive scheme of not being a team that's predictable and who we're going to all the time. If you have multiple guys that can catch and run after a play, make a guy miss, stretch the chains, eat the clock, that's kind of our scenario. So, I mean, if we're able to, obviously the goal this year is to run the football a lot better. We couldn't really run it last year, but we got the same guys back, and they've made the strides and added some pieces from that freshman class that are now sophomores to be able to help us do that. So I'm excited about our options there on offense, and obviously our scheme gives people fits. We have a lot, but when you know the offense and you know it from junior high all the way up until senior high, you can keep adding and keep doing different things that'll give you the extra niche and being able to get a first down or extra yards.
Coach, being in Hot Springs several years and watching the programs around the region, here as of late, Cutter has just really leaped in bounds in their facilities, and it's just encouraging. It's got to be for these kids. How does that play a part, knowing that now y'all are just you got turf, everything's looking great, the eagle on the wall shining from Highway 70. How does that work with your kids? And, of course, the loyalty of the Eagle fans, man. They are once an Eagle, always an Eagle. How does that work hand in hand with your kids?
Man, when I took this job, Coach Kinsinger, the previous head coach before me, already had the turf in play, and they've already approved it. I was just kind of the one to kind of finish it out and oversee it as he went to be a youth pastor. And so, the big thing there is it's huge for our community. I grew up, I went to high school at Magnet Cove. We used to play Cutter all the time, so I'm familiar with the facilities, coming over here for games and playing and everything else. It's a huge upgrade. I think at early points there was talks about moving the field over to another spot of land. I'm glad they didn't, because people ask, how do you get the Cutter? I was like, well, if you go towards Magic Springs, you see a little football field on the left. That's Cutter, because they always know that there's a football field there. Some of them may not know that it's Cutter or not. I mean, it's true. It is,
You're right. You're right.
But it's just a good, oh, wow, look at Cutter's field. I mean, I've had several coaches at clinics to be able to say, hey, Coach, field looks great, everything else. But, I mean, it just puts us in the ballpark of other facilities around us, like Lakeside, Lake Hamilton, Hot Springs, Fountain Lake, the upgrade to the high school. in our basketball arena, top of the line basketball arena in 3A, or actually 2A. We're 2A in basketball. So I'd put us up there at the top. I mean, we should be hosting state championship games, or state championship tournaments and stuff. So, our biggest thing right now is trying to get our facilities up to grade to be something the kids really enjoy as well. Got our weight rooms extended. We're up to 9 to 10 racks now. We have lockers on the way. We got a new 50 locker room ready to rock and roll now, and so we're making those small upgrades. But it's due to our school board and our superintendent, Dr. Anderson, for being able to see those needs and finding a way to get that done, because it's all about the kids and what they really deserve. So I'm just excited about the future, where it's going, and the direction we're in.
Coach, let's talk a little bit more about this season. And as we look at this schedule, let's talk about goals. What does success look like for the Eagles this year whenever you look at your non-conference schedule as well as conference play?
And I think this year, having a class like our sophomores come in that are go-getters, that are what coaches try to explain as dogs. Some people say dudes. The experience. I think last night we had a scrimmage, and one of the sophomores, I think, came off to the coach and said, "Hey, coach, you're right. High school's just a little bit different." So it's just getting the element of that out of the way, knowing that it's going to be a challenge for them. I'm really excited about our preseason. I'm really excited about our conference. It's a good conference for us. Preseason wise, we got Fountain Lake next week, Battle of the Gorge, and we switched that game from week 3 to week 0 this year to give each team a break before we head in the conference for that week 3. So, our biggest thing right now is take one game at a time. I don't like to. I always head coaches look ahead and kind of predict a record, but at the same time, with this group, it's kind of, as a coach, you're kind of like anything can happen. Because of their belief and because of their unity as a team. I'm just really excited about what this season looks like, and I really believe it'll be a better season than what we had last year with our leadership and our team unity. This is by far the best team in condition. Hopefully it plays out like I hope it does, but we're in really good shape right now. The kids have bought into being extra condition and pushing them. They wanted to run more, so check whatever. How do you make sure everybody's good? Coach, we want 2 or 3 more. I was like, okay, all right, let's go. So when you have leadership like that, because we've all been through it, it's hot, you don't feel good, but they have a goal, and that's to be the 5th team ever in Cutter Morningstar history to make the playoffs. And so, 2 years ago we were the 4th team to make it, and so we're just trying to do one game at a time this year and get things rolling. Just excited to kind of see how it all plays out, see how our hard work pays off.
And, of course, it all begins with the Battle of the Gorge, August 29th. We're less than a week away. Coach, you guys break down this matchup for us. I know this is a big one for you guys, bragging rights, and really just the opportunity to start this season on an extremely positive note. What are some of the keys? What are some of the things that you hope to learn about your team when the fourth quarter is over?
Well, our biggest thing always, and that's just probably nationwide in a football team, is be more physical than the other team. We've got to take it to them. We can't be passive. We got to make things happen instead of responding to things. So, somebody's got to make a big play, offense and defense, special teams. Our biggest thing right now is taking care of us. Fountain Lake, Coach Matt Richardson, I've known him since when he was head coach at Ashdown. I was a DC over at Bauxite. So we kind of go back and have played against each other and stuff like that as coaches. And, our biggest thing that we try to do is work together for both of our schools and our programs, of just promoting and being one of those focal points in our county. Obviously with Lakeside and Lake Hamilton and Hot Springs, the bigger schools, they kind of get a lot of coverage too, but at the same time, I think we're doing, both programs are heading in the right direction. And for him, it's year 2. For me, it's year 4. So we'll see how it matches up. I know last year, we were winning going kind of into the fourth quarter, and then kind of the wheels fall off. And that's where conditioning, I think, got us last year. But for us, we got to play solid defense. They have two big wide receivers, not really big on stature, but at the same time big on big plays. They have a little slot receiver and an outside receiver, and obviously Cooper Buss is a playmaker himself. But at the same time, we got to attack the offensive line. We got to shut down the run. Quarterback's going to roll out. We got to make sure when somebody's got to make a big play, you got to have somebody make a big play on our end. So really interested to see how it's going to be a physical game. But at the same time, it's a rivalry. It always brings a little bit extra out of you, a little extra adrenaline. So we got to play within ourselves, and we can't get too nervous, and we can't get too overhyped. We got to play our keys, and we got to make sure that we're making plays and take it one play at a time.
Coach Nick Finley of Cutter Morningstar High School football. The Eagles fly high this fall. Coach, thank you so much for your time this week, and good luck to you and your guys the rest of the way.
No, I appreciate it, guys. It's always fun to catch up and kind of brag on our guys and our team. I tell the guys all the time, there's not one person on this team that's going to help us win. It's all of us. So, that's our motto this year is one game and making sure that we're doing those right things right. And I appreciate y'all covering us and everything else and getting the word out about Cutter Morningstar football.
Good luck, Coach, this year, and go Eagles. We'll see you out on the gridiron. Fourth quarter is right away. Third quarter, right around the corner. And, Mark, I hope your voice lasts a little bit longer.
We're going to try. Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition continues in a moment. 92.9 KVRE.
Third quarter coming up.
And we're back. Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition, 92.9 KVRE, online at kvre.com. He's Tracy Simpson. I'm Mark Oliver. Our next guest is one of a few media members that I feel like truly knows Garland County sports. Inside and out. He's been a longtime youth coach in the area. He has a master's in sports administration from ASU and a bachelor's degree in communications and mass media from SAU. For years, he's been a local sports writer in our area, shining a bright spotlight on youth and local sports in our area. And this week, he's been named the director of athletics at the Lake Hamilton Optimist Club. The man, the myth, the legend. Good morning, Mr. Brian Rice. How are you?
Good, guys. How are you doing?
Brian, staying busy. You know how it is, a man that wears so many hats. First question for you, of course, is when you took this job, did they know that your kids go to Lakeside, Brian? Be honest with me.
Yes. That came up. We got those jokes out of the way right away. It's good times. It's a good, fun rivalry. They definitely knew. They knew, and it's very exciting.
All jokes aside, Brian, this is a huge opportunity, not only for you, but for youth all around the community, because the Lake Hamilton Optimist Club really goes beyond just Lake Hamilton. There's so many youth here in the Hot Springs area, but what inspired you to take the leap and make this next move in your career?
Well, just like you said in the kind introduction, I've been a youth coach for 14 years with baseball. I've done basketball for a couple of years, and tackle flag football has always been floating around in between there. And it just seemed like the right move. I was taking those master classes while doing my sports journalism and graduated. I saw the opportunity come up, and just made sense. I applied for it. We had some conversations, and we figured it out.
So, athletic director of Lake Hamilton Optimist Club, huge title, but what does it mean? What are some of those responsibilities that come with this new position now?
Absolutely. And the word Lake Hamilton is definitely a big one, but it's not exclusive to Lake Hamilton students. So that's something to always remember. If you live in the area, come see us if you want to play sports. It's going to be growing a lot. But I'll be overseeing just like a high school athletic director, making sure schedules work out. Dealing with parents, referees, making sure everybody's having a good experience. We're going to be putting together camps, programs for the kids, hopefully expanding even our sports in the future that we offer.
Brian, going back years and years ago, being part of North Garland County and also, the Lake Hamilton, so many opportunities. And I like what you just said a while ago. Not only Lake Hamilton, but the surrounding areas. That's so important because you don't have a lot of kids that have the opportunity to do that. So, you're accomplishing with all the sports And if they want to be a part of Lake Hamilton Optimists, all they got to do is come on out there, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, give me a call, text. We can find a program for you. I'm at 501-617-9876. That's the Optimist number. And absolutely, yes, you should go Hot Springs, Cutter, Kirby even. Come on over. We have a spot for everybody.
And speaking of that, now for maybe somebody that's new to the area, Mark and I are pretty much up on top of it. What all does that encompass as far as sports? I know that some people carry it a little bit more than others. What sports are we talking about?
Well, that's fantastic. We have flag football, tackle football. We have volleyball, softball, baseball, and we might be looking at adding soccer in the future. We'll see if we can work out some details on that.
Brian, with all the different sports that the Lake Hamilton Optimist Club offers, what are some of the challenges that you think? So, you've been a youth coach for a very long time. You've been thoroughly ingrained in local sports in this community for a long time. What are some of those big challenges that face youth sports today? And how, as AD, do you plan to address some of those locally?
Well, the biggest challenge really is finding coaches. That's one of the biggest. We always need coaches. Holler at me. Anybody can be involved in this from any one of our communities that encompass the Garland County area, Come out. We desperately need coaches because we have expansion going with the amount of teams and the amount of athletes that are joining the Optimist Club. Someone's got to lead them. Other than that, really the challenges is always referees. You got to find referees to these games, people to take the gate, concession workers, things like that. And one challenge is, some people do get aggravated at games and things like that. So I'll be there to make sure that those situations are under control.
I remember for years and years and years with raising 4 boys in this area, probably one of the highest paid volunteers around here. But yeah, the challenges, just like you said, are there. But volunteers are a must, and we've got to put this out there. Look, if you want to volunteer, that's great. Know that there's a little bit of paperwork that you've got to deal with it and such. But don't you feel like this is one of the biggest highlights? I know raising my kids in the programs and coaching other kids, this is one of the biggest highlights in my life. And that's almost the money right there well spent just being a volunteer, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I grew up going to the Boys and Girls Club. My parents were both very involved in sports. Sports opens so many doors, just like it has for me, just with sports writing. I mean, my mother's taken me to games clear across the country. We've always traveled and had great experiences. I mean, we even went to the Orange Bowl one day, and me and one of my buddies, she took us down there, and one of the gates was open. We got to go out on the field. He was a quarterback. I was a receiver. We were just in high school, and I ran a post route, and I caught a pass in the end zone of the Orange Bowl. I mean, those moments are what kids remember forever, and scoring a touchdown at Wolf Stadium could definitely be one of them, or hitting a spike over the net at the intermediate gym in volleyball could be something they remember forever, and that's what it's all about.
Brian, we mentioned volunteerism and the need for coaches, the need for extra hands and extra help. What are some of the ways that former players, alumni, local leaders, the community can get involved in supporting the next generation of the Optimist Club?
I mean, always, if anybody wants to get involved and join us, we have a million sponsorship opportunities. I mean, you name any effort at it, we can do it. Great local businesses can come out and help these kids for their success. I mean, people can sponsor just a youth camp, a field, just an event. Get in touch with me, and we'll find the right way for anybody to get involved. We really want to maximize our youth programs here, and of course, reach out for coaching.
And of course, Brian, we almost forgot to ask, you're busy today, right now. Tell us more about what the Lake Hamilton Optimist Club has going on right now.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. We're having our football jamboree, which is the Arkansas Youth Football Association. So it's not just us. We're going to be going till about 3 p.m. today. It's going to feature Lake Hamilton, Lakeside, Hot Springs, and Malvern's grades 4 through 6 for some good tackle football. We're going to be going in increments. Everybody's going to play, and it's going to be just awesome. It's a $5 entry fee to come out and see these kids playing at Wolf Stadium.
I just think about that, man. All the activities, man, with that and everybody coming out. I can't wait. I'll be out there in just a little bit watching because, man, that just brings back so many great memories and such and being part of it. I encourage everybody right now, if you're sitting around on a Saturday morning and you're looking for something to do and you still have that in your heart, the passion, please contact Brian, because this is something above us anymore, because the kids mean everything. And just like Brian was talking about, get them involved, get them off the couch and get them into something like Brian, like you were talking about, man, sports, our kids have gone through it, but you're right. It opens up so many doors, but it also shows something else. It shows leadership. It shows how to get along with other kids, and it develops friendships for life. And I'm sure you've already reached out to several of your friends around the area to help you out with this new position, huh?
Oh, absolutely. I've got a lot of buzz going around. I got some buddies that I've gotten some guys to sign up to coach youth flag, which is great. That we're not doing anything. He's got a daughter at Lake Hamilton that she runs track, but he's going to jump in the flag program and help us out. And, just to add to it, tomorrow, Sunday, we have volleyball skills evaluations at the intermediate gym. And, information on that is Facebook. It's on our Facebook, grades 1 through 7. Shoot me a text or call me again, 501-617-9876. I can walk somebody through signing up for getting their kid involved. Or if you want to coach, we need 2 head coaches at each age group in flag and in volleyball still. So we need people to come out and lead these young athletes. And, we're going to need assistance too. So get in touch with me. We need the community-minded people to come out and just sponsor these young people or coach these young people. It's the best way to get them involved.
And I'll tell you, as a parent who has been involved with the Lake Hamilton Optimist Club in the past, there was one year where, because all my kids go to Mountain Pine, but there was one year where our team was able to play within the same league at the Optimist Club, and I'll never forget my first impression of seeing this organization working. Is that on the baseball side, whenever my players were like youngsters and still kind of learning the game, I will never forget the umpire for the game would sometimes call time and help people get adjusted in the box or teach them like how to do a better swing. And I had never, ever seen that before at any level of Little League baseball except at the Optimist Club. So it's all these volunteers just trying to grow the love of the game. My kids are still in the game probably because of the Optimist Club and those experiences they had as a first-timer with the game. I just think it's really, really special, the program that you guys have going on. Brian, if anybody wants to get in touch online, is there a website? What would be the best way to do so?
So the best way so far is to definitely get in touch with me on the phone, text, or shoot our Facebook a message. We have that capability of responding to those. We also, bluesombrero.com/LHOC, so stands for Lake Hamilton Optimist Club. And that's where our sign-up sheets are available for all of our sports.
Good. Man, oh man, oh man. I know everybody's pumped. I know that, just like you said, the vibe's already around town, and we're excited here. I know you're busy. You got things going on right now, and you got to get back out there. Mark, he's about like us, man, wearing many hats, and he's busy today, isn't he?
Oh yeah, and that's why we knew we had to have him on the show as well. Brian Rice, the new director of athletics for the Lake Hamilton Optimist Club. Brian, go get him, buddy. Good luck.
Absolutely. I'm going to go watch some football. You guys holler at me anytime.
Much more to come on Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on 92.9 KVRE.
Fourth quarter coming up.
And we're back, Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition on 92.9 KVRE, online at kvre.com. He's Tracy Simpson. I'm Mark Oliver. Tracy, our local roundup, Hot Springs' Best Kept Secret, is now out. A new documentary film from National Park College highlighting the National Park College Nighthawk women's basketball team was announced this week. Fearless is a new documentary that highlights the team's rise from a canceled season due to low numbers to a team that rebuilt and rose to claim its first Region 2 championship in program history. This was a project that was a lot of fun to make. It's more than just a sports film. It's really a tribute to every athlete that's ever been counted out or told that they couldn't do something only to come back stronger. Of course, this is my second feature film that I've made in the past couple of years, and this one is probably the best one that I've ever made, Tracy. It's immensely special to me, not only because of the story that we're telling, but also because all three of my boys were part of this movie. in the creation process as well. Michael, Ben, and River traveled with me all throughout the season, all throughout the postseason, even on the super long trip up to Trenton, Missouri for the postseason battle against North Central Missouri College. And I really got to give a shout out to my middle child, Ben, who really stepped up this year. Not only was he a videographer for me, but he sat side by side with me in the editing room late nights. He helped me select a lot of the music that's featured in this film, helping with the editing and the audio editing as well. Really cool dad bonding moment with my kids. And we surprise dropped the trailer this week at athletic orientation at the college. And I had some candid cameras set up, pointed at the women's basketball team, seeing their reactions to the announcement of the film. Absolutely incredible. I'm super excited for this project, and it has already taken off in a big way. The trailer live right now on social media and on YouTube.
Mark, something special, and I know for you, another one of these feature films, but working with your boys, you'll never get that back at their age, and it's something that they will always remember. And of course, it's just felt and if you've seen it, everybody knows it's heartfelt, and that's what it's all about. And of course, it's got a great story to it too, no doubt about that, the storyline. But also just being part of the family situation, and maybe now he's got a career in something, maybe a little bit.
He has so many things that he wants to do right now, but I always said, you know what, I can teach you some of the things that I do, and I love to be able to share those moments with my children. But boy, this story is just something else. I'm really proud of it. We finished the movie late July, worked all summer long, great interviews with the coaching staff, great interviews with the student athletes that made the story happen in the first place. The film's going to come out Monday, October 20th. Mark your calendars. We're going to have an on-campus premiere at National Park College for the film. I'm also proud to announce that not only Fearless, this new movie, but also my previous movie, Stay Down, A Championship Story, which highlighted the men's basketball team in their road to winning the national championship. Both films have been selected to be featured in this year's Hot Springs Documentary Film Festival in October. So you're going to see me up on the big stage and with some of these premieres. I'm going to be in some of the filmmaker roundtables and the forums, meeting with industry bigwigs on how to sharpen my skills even more and get prepared for whatever the next film is going to be.
They say it's Hollywood. Da, 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 da. No, man, I'm so proud of you. You come a long ways, and you've worked your tail off, Mark, and there's nobody else that deserves it more than you. And we cannot wait for this to come out. We'll have everybody there. And if you've ever seen it, you need to come out and watch it again on what we say the big stage. It's something special. And we encourage everybody, if you've got questions or if you want to be a part of something like this, come on out and give Mark a call or come see it and be on part of that questionnaire. And know that it's not only a job, but it's a passion. And he shares that with a lot and you can sense that in the films, and you can sense it with the way he takes care of his kids. And there's obviously something heartfelt there. But proud of you once again, man. I appreciate it. Haven't, been around you but about 15, 20 years, but we're so proud of you.
Hey, I never thought that I would add filmmaker to all the hats that I wear, but we're there, man. We are there, and that's our show, Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition.
Until the next show.
Until the next show. And hopefully the voice will be back. High school football is upon us. We are super excited. Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. right here on 92.9 KVRE. He's Tracy Simpson. I'm Mark Oliver. We'll see you next week.
Game over.